There's something so comforting about freshly baked bread, especially when it's soft, fluffy, and wrapped around a juicy sausage. In this video, I'm sharing my bakery-style sausage bun recipe, which is a simple homemade bread recipe that works whether you're making sausage buns for breakfast, for a quick snack, or an easy meal at home. I'll walk you through every step so you do not need to worry. If you ever felt nervous about working with yeast, this recipe is beginner-friendly. Fasten your seatbelt, because I'm about to take you on a ride. For this recipe, these are the ingredients I'll be working with, but the full recipe and ingredients will be in the description box below, so do check it out. In a small bowl, add warm milk, yeast, and sugar. The milk should be warm and not hot. If it's too hot, it can kill the yeast. If you don't want to use milk, water works too. Give it a mix, cover it, and let it sit for about 10 minutes until it becomes foamy. In a separate bowl, add your flour and the rest of your yeast. I also added a little vanilla. It is totally optional, but it enhances the flavor of the bread. Once the yeast mixture is ready, pour it into the bowl with the dry ingredients. Next, melt your butter gently. Make sure it's warm, not hot, so it doesn't affect the dough. Add the melted butter and 1 egg, then start mixing everything together. At this point, I switched to using my hands to bring the dough together. Transfer the dough to a lightly floured surface and knead for about 10 to 15 minutes. Kneading helps develop the gluten and gives the bread that soft, fluffy texture. You'll know it's ready when the dough feels smooth and elastic. Place the dough into a lightly oiled bowl, cover it, and let it rise for about 35 minutes or until it doubles in size. I lightly pan-fried the sausages for a few minutes just to give them some color and flavor. They don't need to be fully cooked at this stage since they will finish cooking in the oven. After 35 minutes, my dough had doubled in size. I gently pressed it with my fingers to check if it was ready. I transferred the dough back onto a flat surface and divided it into portions. I shaped each portion into a ball first. This makes the dough easier to work with and helps it knead evenly. I lightly floured my rolling pin so it will not stick, then roll the dough out. After rolling, I shaped the dough into a long rope. Then I placed the sausage inside and rolled it up gently like a log, sealing the edges. For the cheese-filled buns, I added cheese into the dough and rolled it gently. Then I repeated the process for all the buns. I placed the shaped buns onto a baking tray lined with baking paper, making sure to leave space between them. I then covered the buns and allowed them to rise again for about 15 minutes. While the buns were rising, I prepared my egg wash. I cracked 1 egg into a small bowl and mixed it well. Once the bun had risen, I gently brushed them with the egg wash using a pastry brush. This helps to give a very beautiful golden finish, and then I sprinkled with some sesame seeds on top for extra texture and appearance. Then I baked the buns in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 to 18 minutes. I also tested baking one batch a little longer just to see the difference. Now, This one here was baked a little longer. At first glance, it might look darker, but when you open it, you can see it's soft, fluffy, and perfectly baked on the inside. Baking time actually gives you options. So the next batch was baked for the regular time, then brushed with melted butter while it was still warm. The butter gives it a very beautiful shine and keeps the bread very soft. This recipe is beginner friendly and doesn't require any fancy equipment. So if you've ever been nervous about making bread from scratch, this is a great place to start. And if you enjoy baking comfort food and learning simple homemade recipes, you're in the right place. I definitely can't wait for you to try out this recipe. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more easy recipes. Bye for now.